Chris, and thank you, Chris. And I'm so excited that how far we've come with Boldtrail. I'm also really proud of everyone that everyone is starting to use it, and we're starting to get questions um, that are that you're actually using Boldtrail to impact your business. So I just want to thank all of you who filled out the link that I sent for this meeting, asking you like, what questions do you have to ensure that the time that we have with Chris is efficient? So he is going to take some time to answer the questions that you guys sent to us. If you have any others, we'll also have a question and answer time during this, but today is going to be a lot of fun. So make sure that you have your laptops ready to go, that you're logged into your Boldtrail, because at this point, we've gone from the beginning of our username to our profile to kind of starting to clean things up. Today is the fun part. We're going into marketing. So what that's going to look like for 2026 in your goals. Okay. So Chris, let's get started.
Beautiful. Well, happy Tuesday to everyone. Hope you were doing well, giving away pies, shaking hands, kissing babies. How did the Santa event go on Saturday?
And
Great.
Sunday.
And Sunday. Great.
Santa, wow, Santa was busy. Santa's tired, drinking eggnog right now. But I love that you guys do that. I would say that, and I have a couple clients who pay for like family photo shoots. I would say those are two of the best ways to just bring families together, bring your clients together, spreading that joy. So I love it. I love it. I love it. If anyone's driving around in Rancho Penasquitas this week, I am up to 9 inflatables in my front yard. Every year, my
Ah,
boys and I, we add one inflatable. So this year we added a family of Highland cows. So hope you guys are doing well. But no, it's been a lot of fun. Like Allison said, we've kind of turned the corner from a lot of the basics and some of the elementary stuff to some really really good content. So some of you are still reaching out to me, and I love that. And you guys are asking, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You're asking really good questions, like you're using this product and you're using it in your everyday. There's going to continue to be bugs. There's going to continue to be questions, and we're going to continue to be here to help and kind of support that side of things. So please, please, please keep those questions coming. Another little thing too, shout out to Mary. Mary, I don't know if you're there in the room. Are you?
yes.
Yes, I'm here. Ooh.
Mary,
What
I
to do?
Good
drove by
job,
your
Mary.
I drove by your listing this morning on the way to dropping off my kids at school off of Tierra Bonita. So I love
Oh,
seeing the San Diego's Castle Realty sign in the yard.
That's good.
my kids go
Thanks.
there. Okay.
Tierra Bonita, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheetahs, cheetahs,
Hey,
cheetahs.
Chris,
Yeah.
Right.
next time you do that, stop your car and get out and then take a selfie with Mary's sign. Please
And the
post that
house.
on your social media and tag us. Okay.
I, I will. I
Wild
drive by it
turkey.
like three
Thank
times a week.
you.
I drive by it like 3 times a week, so
That's
I will.
there we
But no,
go.
that's great. That's a great idea.
Okay,
So
done. Let's go. Let me
we're gonna
pictures.
we're gonna dive into two questions, and then we're gonna get into the marketing side. So first question, Andrea, I don't know if you're there, but how to use Bold Trail for scheduling showings, making a list of showings for clients. So and then updating notes, logging activities with them. So that's a really good question. Um, Andrea, I love the way that you think and you operate. You're an operator at heart. You're really, really big on that stuff. So here's how I would use that particular feature. Um, so I'm going to go in and I'm just going to pick one of Pascal. I'm going to pick one of your leads, Pascal. So a few different options that you can do with this. And this is kind of a long-winded answer, Andrea, but I'm going to try and answer it kind of like the most practical way of how I would use it if I were in your shoes. So let's say you're showing property to Monica. All right. So a couple things that you could do. One, you could create a task for Monica where you basically have, let's call it Saturday showings. And then you could have all of the details in it. So, showing 1-2 Main Street, and then you have a link to that property. Maybe you have an MLS ID. You could do something like that where you're creating kind of like a list. knowing you and just kind of getting to know your style a little bit, you want something a little more kind of better and organized than that. So the other option you could do is you can go into the listing section in Boldtrail. And what you can do is you can basically create like a list of properties. So think of the same way of like, Chris, I want to email my clients these 5 listings. How do I do that? Rather than just sending them a list of everything in the MLS. So what you can do is you can come in here and you can basically you click on listings on the right, the left, and then you can do a search. Now, when you do a search, you can basically do a search from MLS number. And so let me just I'm gonna copy and paste a few MLS numbers here. So let's just pretend these are the 3 listings you're showing this weekend. You can type in one MLS number and it's going to populate it. If you want to do another one, you're going to do a comma. You're going to type in the next MLS number. Now you have a list of 2. You want a third one, you're going to do a comma. And now you've got all that. You guys following me so far?
Could you do it once more? Just a quick, sorry.
Yep.
The
Yep. So
copy
you're
was
going to go to
awesome. Like,
Yep, so you're going to go to listings on the left,
uh-huh.
and then you're going to click on search, which is it's right here where this little box is.
Yep.
And then you just start typing in the MLS number. As soon as you do, it'll pull up that property. If you do a comma, you'll be able to add multiple listings. So just a comma, MLS number, comma. That's how you do it.
Address, comma, different address, comma,
Yep.
different address.
Or does it have
Yep.
to be a plus number?
Doesn't have to be MLS number, no. So if we wanted to do like Ballard Street, for example, I could type it in and it would pull up. Trying to
Guys,
think of-
you see that Gustavo, Allison is trying to get in.
Allison's responding.
See that? I got it.
I'm in.
No.
Okay, remember also that that's on the main list of homes for sale. But when you go to filters up, you can go to a filter as well per zip code, per map, or whatever you want.
Can you apply a search that you already have set up for a client in this?
Yep.
You could. You could.
Yeah.
So couple different things. And Pascal, I love your suggestion as well. I want to show them that. Real quick, just kind of tie a bow around this. What you could do here, Andrea, is you would then highlight all 3 of these listings, and then you can either email or you can text this list to your clients as well. Hey, here's the list that we're going to go see this weekend. So if I wanted to, she could come in here and she could type in the name, of whoever her client is. And you could say, these are what we are seeing on Sunday. And it'll automatically link those 3 specific properties. So you can do that via text or email. Just to back up a step, you would once again type in the listings, comma, and then you select all, and then that way you can copy and paste them or email or text them to that specific client. So that's kind of part 1. Any questions before I touch on what Pascal was saying?
I have a quick, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, just a quick question. So I see some of my listings appear twice.
That's exactly my question. Why is mine twice?
Yeah, some have twice, yeah.
Because it's you, and the company.
Well, it has just the MLS number, and then one of them is appended with SD on the end of the MLS number. So it's the MLS number 2500-45106.
Yeah, so I'll chime in on that. My guess is you guys have multiple MLSs being pulled in. So if it's in, California MLS versus Sandacor, I think they're different MLS numbers. So my guess is that's why. If you're only a part of one in your dashboard, you should only see one. But I'm in Pascal, so Pascal has probably a couple
So
different
if you
MLS.
have a double one at the end, if you see SD, it's because it's just, we have 2 MLS. We have SD MLS and we have whatever the other one.
CRLs. Yeah.
CRMLS.
Okay.
So that's the reason it showed twice.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Get it?
But on your search, then you send on your client, you're gonna send it only once.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Now, kind of piggybacking off something Pascal said a few minutes ago, which is you can also use this filter. So this is a really cool feature. So if you go So I want you guys to remember Boldtrail is also full-blown MLS. So you can come in here now, and I need to clear my search. And I'm going to click on listings, but now we've got over 10,000 listings, right? I can click filter. So if I wanted to, let's say, Andreas, you're showing property this weekend in Poway. You could do Poway. And then you could come and type in price range. You could type in bedroom, bath, square footage, specific feature. So for example, if she's like, Chris, no, we're gonna go see any available home that has a pool, this weekend. She could basically go and do a search on that. And then once she does, let me get rid of this filter. Come on, Boldtrail.
Let me log off, maybe it's because we're both on it. There we go.
No, it's just pulling up all the filters. So now it's got a list of all these listings based on whatever filter I have. Same exact thing now. I can email or text this entire list of these properties right to my client. So
Okay, so CEO, okay, so that's my concern in here. So we have a grid filter, but when you're gonna email us, because we have two MLSs, see, no, we have double, not only on the hours, but on everything. So I don't want an agent to send that to a client. It's gonna be double.
Right.
Or automatic search, is it gonna be double because of our two MLS? That might be a Boldtrail question, actually.
yeah, Allison, you might want to ask Boldtrail on that. As far as how I understand it, what it'll do is it'll pull based on whoever's sending it. So Pascal, whatever your main MLS is, but it is going to pull every MLS property based on those two. But it should only appear once. I mean, I could test it right now if we wanted to just
So
do
let's
this
say,
Valley
can
Verde
you send it
listing.
Can
Let me send
ask,
it.
yeah, and I'll reach out to Boldtrail on that. I'm taking notes, Chris, so
Okay.
I can reach out to Boldtrail on that too.
Yeah.
I just emailed it to you, Allison, if you want to test it and see what you received, if you got one or two emails.
Where did you send it? To my personal?
I'm not sure. Whatever you had a Boldtrail account for. Yep. But so yeah, you can basically pull a list. That's kind of the main way I would do it. And then the other kind of side of that question, Andrea, is put it in a task for that client. Um, put it in as a note if you want. So let me just go back to the lead. I don't know if Andrea, are you there? And that answers that question.
Well, when
Um,
initially, I think it was our first meeting, you said that you like really wouldn't need to use the MLS anymore.
correct.
But if like I want to print sheets for the buyer, I want to print a map of the properties, all of that jazz, like I do feel like I have been going back and forth between both systems. And so I just didn't know if I was doing something wrong.
No, you can do all those prints and everything as well. It's just kind of a matter of preference. What do you want them to look like? So for example, if I go in and I take a look at like this listing, for example, you could print this flyer. This is what a lot of agents use for like an open house. And so this is kind of a good example. I'm logged in as Pascal, so it's gonna, brand it and everything as Pascal. But the other thing too to kind of keep in mind, and this is just my feedback. I don't work for Boldtrail, so I'm shooting you straight here. To me, Boldtrail's done its job, if you will, once you're out showing property to a lead. There's going to be some leads that like you have such specific search criteria that you need something from the MLS directly for them. You just got to kind of make that decision. But I think from like a service standpoint, converting new leads and sending leads listings and everything, Boldtrail's going to do its job as far as that. So I want to show you this flyer here, but it's taking forever to load. So I'll click away and I'll come back to it here.
One more follow-up question. There's not like a
Photos.
place in the in Boldtrail to look at like the agent remarks and like showing instructions.
Yep. Yep. So all of that's going to be any comments or anything are going to be down here. You can see who the listing agent is. You can see if there's open houses, coming up. But yeah, anything that's happened. This is what I'm viewing right now. This is just for me and you.
But in the MLS, there's like a confidential remarks section that says, no showings until Friday, or call me with 24-hour notice, that kind of thing.
Pull a list. Pull a listing for me, Andre, and if you can email me that, I can kind of look into that for specific like details of it. But yeah, everything should pop up. Usually the remarks and everything are right here, right below it. So if there is
Those remarks are, those are the public remarks, not the agent remarks.
Confidential remarks.
Hey, Andrea,
Correct.
it's Gustavo. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, so I highly doubt that it's going to show confidential remarks showing instructions and things like that. Normally, like when I was using, Ylopo or Follow Boss, I was just printing agent preferred version off the SD MLS, so I knew what the heck was going on with the listing. But yeah, this is probably should just reflect any and all comments that are on the client-facing version. It's not going to have
Ask them
Right,
no further
okay.
about that.
listing agent info.
it's automatically. It's just, are you on your listing or?
Yeah.
Um,
Filter-
So yeah, Andrea, if you can send me an example of it, and I can kind of compare and contrast. Just to clarify something though, you said, Gustavo,
Yep.
there is certain things that you're going to see in the back end that the general public won't see. What the general public does see is just what's on the MLS, within the site. Let me turn off my VPN here. I think that's given us an issue here. There we go. Yeah, so the general public, they're just going to be able to see, what's available on the MLS. In here, there should be additional things that the general consumer cannot see. So,
Okay.
but Andrea, if you want to give me an example, I can take a look in that for you. I want to respect everyone's time here, guys. I'm going to knock through one other question and then we'll get into the marketing side. So next question I had is there a way to send a mass email now rather than schedule for future date? So real good question. And the answer is yes. So you're going to go into marketing. There's two different ways you can send a mass email. So the first one, if you go to marketing, you're going to see scheduled mass emails. Obviously, this is one you can schedule. Now, I'm showing this for everyone just so everyone knows where this feature is, Katie. And then I'll answer your specific question. So what you can do is you can come in here and you can schedule an email. The earliest you can do it is within 24 hours. So that's kind of Katie's question, like, what if I want to send an email out right now? You can do that too. This is really good for scheduling them emails. The one thing I will add in is use the advanced editor when you're writing emails. What they give you here is super old school, Microsoft Word 1995 version. Advanced editor, a lot better visually looking. It's more of kind of a plug and play, where you can have images, you can have text, you can have videos, all of that. So use the advanced editor anytime you're writing emails. So that's how you send a mass email. Now to answer your specific question, Katie, what you could do is I would first filter. So go into your contacts and then filter whoever it is that you want to send it to. Let's just pretend I'm sending it to all of, Pascal's clients right now. What she would do is she would just highlight whoever those leads are.
Uh-huh.
She's going to highlight select all, and then she's just going to click on email. Then
Okay.
it'll allow her to type that in and write it and send it right now.
And you can do images and all that stuff.
Yep.
We've got stopped. Enable scheduled mass emails.
Oh, you just have to fill out a form one time,
I did,
Yeah, I just filled it out too.
and so it's just,
but you just,
2 business days.
yeah.
I just filled it out.
all right. I did too.
Chris,
Yep.
Thanks, right. Okay.
I have a question. So, another question that's on the same topics came from our agent, Andrea Young. And so most of our agents do this, but she created her own newsletter in Canva because we provide Canva Enterprise to our agents to use however they want to. And she filled out everything she needed for the mass email. But when she saved her Canva monthly newsletter as a PNG and then imported it as a photo, it was like tiny. So it didn't look right. It didn't fill the pages and she didn't feel comfortable with how it looked. So she just went back to Follow Up Boss and sent it. So can we look at that for those agents that may not go the advanced editor route, but would like to use the newsletter that we provide?
Yep. Yep, definitely. And there's a setting when you do upload the image, as well, just for everyone kind of to know. where you can kind of change the size of the image. So once you upload the image, you can kind of change everything. My guess is they had it on auto and they had it on
Ah.
probably small. So once you do upload that image, make sure you're looking at over here on like the settings of everything. It'll allow you to adjust kind of the size, the, everything on it. But yeah, Allison, I think what would be helpful is maybe send me over that PNG and I can test it on my end. It
Yeah,
might
I'll send it
might need to be
right
a bigger
now.
size too. So perfect.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The same issue with the email.
Um, all right, so let's dive into the marketing side. So any other questions before I do move on? Otherwise, Allison, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was all the questions I had that were submitted.
Yes, that's perfect. Let's
Perfect.
go.
If
All
you
right.
don't mind, let's go into the marketing and then after, I'm sure some of us, we have several questions. So
Yep.
I want to just make sure that we have all the marketing covered today.
Yeah, like
Yep.
the list, like, is it worth doing? And how do you do it? Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the marketing side. So there's a lot in the marketing side. I'm not going to go through every single one of these here today, but I do want to start with some of my favorites that I think a lot of agents, should be spending a lot of time in. And so a couple of them I want to point out. Listing Machine. Listing Machine is basically a really fast way for you to get marketing materials, put together for any type of a listing that you do have. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, and like I said, I'm not going to go through every one of these like in big detail, but I want you guys to, once we get off, start to explore this a little bit. And so how it works is basically you can come in here and it's going to create a couple different things for you. You have the ability to create like a kit. Think of a kit as like a Canva template. All right. So you can create your own kind of a kit. So anytime you have like a just listed property, for example. And then if you take a look here, you're going to notice they've got a few of the listings it looks like currently that are active. And you're going to notice it creates a ton of different criteria for you. So think of this as kind of your in Canva within Boldtrail. All right. And so if you take a look at this, and Allison, feel free to chime in on any of this because I know you use this a lot more than I do on a daily basis. So you've got all of the different media here. Now, if you're using it for social media, you'll notice I can click one button and it puts the size for me where it automatically is trying to format like a specific flyer. If I wanted to and say, okay, Chris, I got a new listing. Can we do some type of a social media post for it? You can hit edit design. And what it'll do is it'll try and create a graphic for you pretty quickly. And it's going to auto populate photos, but you have the ability to come in and start to mess with this design a little bit. And so you'll notice you can obviously edit it. You can do certain things. It's pretty basic in regards to this. What I would encourage you guys to do is first kind of create your own templates. And so these are, it looks like, Allison, did you create these designs or are these are stock ones here?
These are stock.
Okay. So you have the ability to create your own if you want to. But basically, they give you the option for print, for social media, for video, for website. So I would recommend, and Allison, I think this is something you guys have kind of a Canva account. I think this is worth you spending a little bit of time creating these different kits for the agents. So that way they're not having to go and build everything from scratch. Once you have like some designs, and it looks like there's a ton of them you guys have started on. It looks like 54 of them. So some of you have started to do it, but I would go through and just start to build and try and use some of this, what they call in their design center. Now, just to back up, that's under the listing machine as well. You'll notice we kind of got from listing machine into the design center. So a lot of these different products, they kind of mix together. So we just mixed social media where you're creating graphics mixed with the design center. So I would recommend for you guys going through and just taking a look at these, three different products we've pretty much covered right there. Listing machine, you've got social, and then you've got design center as well. Anything else you want me to highlight there, Allison? Otherwise, I'm just trying to talk about these kind of high level, but anything else you want to add that you've seen within this?
I don't have anything to add. let's save for questions afterwards. I think it's so
Sure.
high level. I think what's important for our agents to know is that Pascal and I is like we're diving into all of this. So I like that it's high level. I think one of my questions that's coming up to me right now is I know when agents have gotten listed listings, they have gotten emails from Boldtrail that says like your kit is ready to use. And I'm just curious how many people have received them, if they've like kind of if they've used anything that they've received.
I received them, I haven't used them.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like I'm testing out the website that was just created by Boldtrail for my Tierra Bonita listing, and it looks pretty awesome.
Cool.
So that's gonna be great because when you create your website, for the people who used to go to GoDaddy and do www.123mainstreet.com,
Right.
then you can just paste this and go into your own website.
Yeah, I was in Boldtrail and it just went down into the property sites, the
Do we-
domain.
I have a question, but like, do we pay money for it or, right? And
It's part of it.
Part of
It's in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's an unbranded one, so I
Okay.
think you can link that to your MLS, right?
Yeah.
So your unbranded, meaning it doesn't have
Yeah.
company stuff, and then the branded one is great for marketing. And I just tested it by copying it and emailing it to myself to test it out, and it's great, so. And I did the branded, so pretty cool. The other stuff I think is boring, just being like, there's not enough to it, like I like to put a lot more content into my flyers, but I think that this is, what's helpful for me is that saying boring is wrong, but that there's a flyer design there that I can just pop in stuff.
Exactly, you can create.
Yeah.
So Alison, we're gonna create a couple of template. Simple, nice,
Yes.
and then Asian, you can use them and put your name on it, or you could also create your own stuff, like Mary said.
And it creates a QR code right there on your flyer too. I'm delighted. It's pretty
You know,
cool.
but when people go, when they click on the QR code or whatever, and it goes to the property stuff that's like on our
That goes
website.
to your own website.
Right.
Whatever
But they
someone
have
is
to-
clicking.
They have to register, they have to put their email address or
Yeah,
phone
that's the
number
plan,
or
to
something
get more
in.
client.
Okay, but if people are like, no, I don't want it, then they're just
Oh,
not
they
gonna
do,
look at it.
trust me, they do.
Right, I just created a QR code.
Chris, do you want to show this? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yep, yeah, I was just kind of letting you guys kind of talk there for a quick. So
Okay.
this is an example of like the flyer for a listing. This took 3 seconds for me, and all I did was just, hey, I want to see what this flyer looks like. So to me, they're nice and professional. You know, you're not having to pay someone to design this. This is already built into it. I'm logged in as her, so it's got all of her contact info on it. And it's just going to highlight a couple things for that listing. So I'm hearing a lot of questions on like the listing side of things. So I'm going to pivot here just for a second because I do think the marketing center is good, but I at the same time, like I'm putting myself in your shoes and it might be a little overwhelming. Like, Chris, I don't know where to start. So let me teach you something really, really simple that I would start with. So if you go back over to the listings, you can do a search for your listing. Let's click Valley Verde, for example. You're going to see all of this right here. So upper right corner, more actions. This is where you can generate a QR code. This is where you can email that, specific listing. This is where you can post this listing to Facebook. This is where you can print that flyer that we just did. So this is where you can do a lot of functionality just from typing in your listing. So I also want to try and simplify this a little bit for you guys too. And so just to kind of recap how I got there, you're going to go to the listings on the left, and then you would type in the name of whatever listing it is, the address or the MLS number. And then I just clicked on one of the properties, just one of the listings. And then in the upper right corner here, that's where all of the more actions are. So I think some of you might just, the flyer might do its trick for you. But at the same time, I think it was Andrea, you were talking about some of my leads don't want to register. Keep in mind, you can also, in your settings, Andrea, you can adjust your lead capture and how aggressive it is. So if you want to let people look at 10 houses, they can. So don't get caught up in that though. You obviously want to use this system to generate the leads, but that's just on the kind of the listing side. Now going back to the marketing, um, anyone's doing listing presentations, I would take a look at the present. And if you click on this, they have a product called Core Present. We're getting ready to win.
I'm ready.
And so you have the ability to come in here and basically create almost like a listing presentation based on some of the metrics and everything that you've got. You'll notice on these, it tells you exactly what comes with it. So full analytics, MLS data, custom content. So if you want to write something specific in this, hey, every time you list your property with us, we do X, Y, and Z. A CMA, feedback capture. So that way, if the seller wants to present something to you, it looks like you guys have already, or someone had already created one.
I didn't like the I didn't like the comms.
The what?
The comms.
Okay.
Yes, I had just like I had to go back and rework on it. But it
Cool.
was fine. Then it was cool because I could select which comms I wanted, but the automatic comms I didn't like it. So I said,
Yep.
no, I want that, and I went, and that's cool. That I like that piece. So it's like any, any MLS, when you go to the MLS, just you're not going to select all, you're going to pick whatever you like. So when you're going to use that system, make sure that you pick your own comps to make it right.
Right.
That's it.
Yep, really good, really good. But yeah, it's like kind of creating a listing presentation as a slideshow for you. So that's present. If anyone has a new listing right now, I would recommend going in and just kind of play with it. And like Pascal said, kind of manipulate the data a little bit so it kind of matches whatever you're going to present to them. And so that covers kind of the top section. Smart campaigns, Allison, I'm not going to talk about this unless you think I need to. Smart campaigns are all the email and text that go out, but I think we should hold off on that conversation. But do you want me to get into anything on that?
Pascal, what would you like?
How much time do we have?
30.
We have 30 minutes, but I guess before we go further, I just want to, ooh, my computer, something's happening. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Yep.
That was weird. Anyway, before we go further, let's just take a temperature check for the room. Like this, everything that we do is for you guys. So my question for everyone in that room, and if you're online, like where are we? Like, do you want to stay where we are? Do you understand? I think we need to see where we are before we go further.
Okay, question. Are we good with contact? To upload a contact?
Like this is
Yes.
such an opportunity to ask the trainer the question. So
Can,
Question from last time.
okay, are we good on sending email?
Are we still not supposed to send mass emails?
That was my next question, perfect question.
Because
I didn't hear it. What did Dawson say?
should we still not send mass emails?
Why? Why do you say that?
Yeah.
Because they'll flag us as spam and then our regular emails will go to spam too.
Oh, okay. Chris, can I jump in on that? And then, so the way that, yes, you can send mass emails. They send them in small batches. So the 2 points is your subject line. Make sure that it's a unique subject line. And number 2, know that the way that Boldtrail sends things, and that's why you fill out that form, first of all, is they're kind of tallying things together, and then from there they send it out in small batches. Now, the one other piece of advice that I got from Boldtrail when I asked this question, everything that you're doing through Bold Trail is new. Like you have your smart number, you have your website, like your clients will begin to see that there is a shift or an evolution happening in your business. It's not a bad idea to send out a text or use this as a soft connect to let your clients know that you'll be receiving an email from me, or just something that they include so that they know something different is coming from you, or make sure that you check your spam. What do you think about that, Chris? That was the information that I got. I just want to be clearer with it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The other thing too is, you got to date these email carriers a little bit. And what I mean by that is out of the gate, I wouldn't recommend sending 1,000 emails today. Start
Right.
out 50, 100, and then slowly start to ramp up. The other thing too is, you're at the mercy of these email carriers. So a lot of times agents want to take it out on Bold Trail. I have a paid service that I pay for, and it happens to me all the time too. Sometimes emails go to spam, and it has nothing to do with what's in the email. But I would encourage you, if you do send out those, let your clients know, hey, can you reply back? Hey, can you just let me know you received it? Those type of things kind of trick email carriers to be like, okay, Allison's actually sending out something people are responding to. Whereas if you just send out an email and it's just kind of a one-way communication, then email carriers kind of make their decision. But yeah, I would just my other recommendation is start small with how big of your mass emails you're sending. Don't upload 6,000 contacts and send out a mass email today. So
Yeah, I don't think I think that's such a best practice right there, just in general, not only to like block spam, but it's the question at the end, like the engagement that you want to get from that email. I think that's really good. I don't think anybody's sending out 6,000. I think it's more for newsletters and that type of thing. So
yep.
Okay, I think we're ready to kind of put our toes into the smart campaign.
Okay.
Because,
Can we do one more question?
yes, please.
When you text someone, does it always have your signature and reply stop to unsubscribe?
On the first one, it is required. So that's something that has to go out on the first email. You can reword it if you want, but stop is usually the default. You could also change it to unsubscribe. But yeah, that's a cell phone carrier issue, not a Bold Trail one. All CRMs require that as of like last year. Yep. They're supposed to, kind of the policy, just so you know, is you're supposed to give people an opt-out every 30 days. That's what phone carriers recommend. Bold Trail, I think their only requirement is the first text you send out, it has to have that.
So, and then how do we remove, like I just texted myself again and it has my signature on it again, is that required?
So if you go into your settings, so click on your name, click on my profile, and if you go to the bottom, you're going to see right below your signature, it's kind of hidden, but there's an SMS signature as well. You can adjust that.
Looking for it? Oh, okay, you're doing what he was doing.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that.
So when I highlighted it, it doesn't let me change it.
So click edit first before you do.
Oh.
Yep.
Here we go. So it only lets me change it from Scott and Quinn to San Diego Castles.
It says that underneath, all outgoing SMS in the system include an automated signature. By default, your signature includes blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so it looks like you can only change that. But I think more what you're asking probably is what we're going to get to, which is like adjusting the templates and what the templates are saying. Because then you can control, saying your first name or, hey, text me back if you have any questions. You can kind of control more of the messaging. Any other questions? Otherwise, I think this is a good transition to dive into the smart campaigns and some templates.
Hey, Chris, this is Jeff and Allison. Hey, really quick, we did a test on a home valuation, and the email came over as Allison Ebert at realestatealerts.com. Is there a way to change? I mean, I don't know why it's coming from that source. Is there a way to change the incoming from email
It should
address?
it should be coming from whatever email you're signed in and you're connected to in your Boldtrail account. Um, Two
Okay,
things I would check. I would go upper right corner, my profile, but then also I would check your email. Make sure your email's connected right here at the top, that little envelope. Make sure that you've
okay,
got your email connected. Um, if you could, can you forward a copy of that email to Allison though? I
sure.
wanna take a look at that one because that sounds a little bit different.
Okay. Yep, we'll do that
Yep.
right now. Thank you.
Yep. And I see a couple other questions that are coming through. I'm gonna answer those here as soon as we get on to the smart campaigns. So getting into the smart campaign side of things. So with smart campaigns, you guys might know them as drip email, drip text messages. All right. So by default, Boldtrail has a bunch of templates that you can basically go and choose and pick from. Now, I always say this, and I'm hesitant to say it because I've worked with some realtors over the years and the last 18 that have created a lot of chaos by messing with this. So what I would encourage you guys to do is be careful when you're creating these templates because when you create in a template, you need to know where it goes and what it could do.
Yeah.
So if you click on Smart Campaigns, you've got three buttons here at the top. All right. So you've got My Campaigns. Now I'm logged in as Pascal, so she sees all of the company, all of the teams, all of the agents, every campaign Pascal sees. You guys should just see only your campaigns on your screen. All right. So I want you guys to think of this. Um, every single lead source can have its own messaging that goes out. So let's say, for example, some of you are buying Zillow leads. If you wanted to, you could say, Chris, I want a specific campaign that goes out to just my Zillow leads. Or maybe you were like, Chris, I do something, specific for my past clients. After I close, I like to send a review, and then a month later, I like to send them, my handyman's contact info. So you can customize and set up specific campaigns. Think of a campaign as multiple messages. That message can be it can be text, it can be emails, it can be tasks, and you can kind of combine all of that. So back to my Zillow analogy. Let's say that you get a new Zillow lead today, and you're like, Chris, I want to send out 10 emails, 10 text messages, and 10 calls every Zillow lead I get. You could go in and customize and build that. Are you guys following me so far with just kind of the mentality side of it?
Yes.
All right. So you've got what are called campaigns. Now, before you create a campaign, what I would recommend you do is you take a look at the system library. So this is basically Boldtrail in a box. So this is everything they've already built. They've got 40 campaigns that are already built that you can use. So if you take a look at this, you could see they've got one for buyer nurture. It's a 1 year campaign. And you're going to notice it's got a description. This is a mix of mostly emails with a few text messages designed to keep your name in front of a long-term buyer prospect. All right. And then it is email and text messages. And it looks like it's 22 touches over a year. You guys see all of that?
Yeah.
So you could go through, and what I would encourage you guys to do is just go through and see, okay, Chris, this doesn't apply to me, but there's some for buyers, there's some for sellers, there's some for renters, there's some for closed clients, there's some for Sphere, there's some for homeowners, there's some for expired. So they already have built 40 different campaigns for you guys. I'm not going to go into every single one of them. But I do want to show you guys kind of under the hood a little bit because I always get agents that say, Chris, can we see what those messages are? So if you click on it, this is the buyer nurture 1 year campaign. You're going to notice the first message is on day 7 and it's an email. And the name of the template is how to find motivated sellers. And if I click to view this message, it's going to say, hi, first name, just a quick tip that might help you find properties with motivated sellers. If you go to my website and do a search, you can put in the word motivated in the keyword box and see all the properties where the term motivated shows up. Blah, blah, blah. So if you wanted to, you could go through and look at all of these messages, and you'll notice some are text messages. And I know it's a text because it has the little text icon and it says text. And you could go in and take a look at what these campaigns are. And if you wanted to, you could use this campaign. You guys following me still?
Yes.
All right. So let's go and let's pretend that I wanted to add this campaign to my library. So what I could do is I could hit add to library, and it'll take it out of the system and it'll now put it in my campaigns. So I'm going to do that right now. And Pascal, I'll delete this, but just for training purposes, you can kind of see an example of it. All right. So if I give it a second, now this campaign is a part of my campaigns, but you'll notice I don't have this turned on yet. So
Right.
just because you added a campaign doesn't mean it's turned on yet.
Yeah. Chris, can I hop in real quick? So, for a moment, and I don't know if you remember in our last training, that's what was happening. We had just these rogue campaigns turned on for our brokerage, and then the agents somehow, when they went in, when we signed them up for Boldtrail, they also had campaigns on. So we have turned everything off. There are no campaigns at this time. So I think it's important, and where I want to go with this conversation is, as an agent, what would be the number one campaign to turn on just to start playing with, right? So I like how you're saying to all of our agents, make sure that this is imperative before you turn anything on, that you go through the entire campaign and understand what you're sending out. For example, I was working with an agent, they had on the campaign, this was a different company, and they did not look at what they were sending out. And one of the texts that went out said, "Hey, let's get coffee." Well, all of a sudden that agent started to get texts like, "I'd love to meet you Monday at 1." They had no idea what was happening. So before you turn on a smart campaign, you ensure that, excuse me one second, you ensure that you know exactly what's in that smart campaign and you have the correct contacts set up for that campaign. It's very important. Sorry, my mother and father-in-law just came in at that same time.
Can I ask a quick question? I'm looking at this smart campaign. Will it auto-populate with my newest buyer lead with my data? So it'll be like, "Hi, Diane, and here's, the second email." Will it sign it with all my stuff, or do I have to customize it?
Yep, real good question. So what you're asking here, Mary, correct me if I'm wrong. It's right now it says like hi first name. If you send it to Joe Blow, it'll say hi Joe on that. It'll auto-populate it, yes, to answer your question. Same thing if you see like the agent URL. Those are called like merge tags, is what they call them, merge fields, which is just a fancy way of saying, hey, Boldtrail, put in my name here. Yep.
So we don't have to change it. It will come directly with the agent name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, will it have my picture or, any, like,
The signature.
create my signature that I've done? Okay. And the whole
Yep.
thing will attach to it. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank
You're welcome. So a couple caveats for you guys. We build a lot of custom campaigns for agents. So to give you kind of a couple good examples of some templates, I recommend, and this is me as a marketing guy, guys. So I'm kind of talking about like lead conversion. I would recommend you have a campaign for every lead source that you have. So if you do open houses, I would recommend having an open house campaign. So today's Sunday, you met me at an open house. The next day, I should get a text or an email from you that says, "Hey, Allison, it was great to meet you at the open house yesterday." That's a great example. The other one is if you're paying for leads, if you're paying for Zillow, you're paying for Google Ads, have specific messages. I always use the analogy of like past clients. You guys do not talk to your past clients the same way that you do a Facebook lead, right? So why is your system set up in a way where it talks to them just one way? So I would encourage you guys to have specific messages that go out for each different lead source. The other thing too, for anyone taking notes, I would recommend turning on a campaign for buyer, for seller, and past clients. But obviously, before you turn those on, I would go take a look at the system library, and just take a look at it and see that. If any of you are interested in, like, Chris, can you just build a custom campaign for me? We do those as well. But I would encourage you guys, look in the system library before you do anything. That's what I would encourage you to do. All right, one last piece I want to share on the template side, because I think this is a big question here. So if you go to templates, this is where you can say, Chris, can I create my own email? Can I create my own text message? And the answer is yes. So you'll notice here at the top, templates, you can go in and you can build your own template. So if I hit add an email template, for example, now I'm writing an email from scratch. So I can name the template, let's say military relocation.
AI can help us write it, right?
Yeah.
And then you could go in and you start writing this email basically. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is their basic, email template. I'm not a fan of it personally. I think it's just a dinosaur. So I always use the advanced editor. Both of them are the exact same thing with writing an email, but I'm a bigger fan of the advanced editor. It's just visually, you can make it look a lot nicer, and it's pretty simple. So what I would do is I would come in and I would add in text. And then right away, I'm saying, hello and welcome to San Diego. And then you put in whatever message you want. If you want to add in an image with an American flag or a picture of La Jolla, you could do that. So this is where you could basically build your email template from scratch. And it's just kind of a drag and drop. So I'm a bigger fan of what they call as the advanced editor. So anytime you're writing an email, you're going to see basic editor and you're going to see what they call advanced editor. Just a matter of preference. I will say, just from a marketer standpoint, emails carriers have gotten a lot more strict on having too many images in an email. The more images you have in an email, the more likely you're gonna get flagged as spam. So I have noticed better results with more text versus images. So for anyone who's just sending out like all image emails, just one big graphic or one big image, just know that that could be playing a factor in some of your emails going to spam. So, um, any questions, anything to add on to that on the email side of things here, Allison?
I have no questions.
All right. Now I'm just going to go off on a side tangent here for a second, because once you build a template, I want to show you how to use it. So now Pascal, she has an email. She created a template and now she wants to go into one of her leads. And she wants to send Monica an email. So once she is in Monica, she can click on email. And then you'll notice here at the top, now we can search all of the templates that she has. So if we had a military relocation one, otherwise you're going to see all of your templates right here. You can do a search too. So that's how you would use a template.
So can you use it, like, can you automatically have templates sent out, say like the 12-month post-close email? I don't know if I missed it, like,
No,
can
no, you're
you
right. That's
assign that to clients so that on their 1 year, it automatically goes out to them?
Yep. Yep. So basically what you would need to do is you would need to build all those messages first. So you'd need to create those templates. And maybe you've got 12 different templates. You'd build the template first, and then you would build the campaign second.
And then once you do your campaign, to make a new campaign, you add in your template.
Exactly. Yep. So hey, in 200 days, I want to send email template number 10.
So with that though, like, since everyone's closing date is different, does it connect with the system saying, hey, Harrison's closing date is on June 1st? Like, is there a way to do it to where you don't have to make a bunch of different templates for each? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. So you're probably more like date specific. The other
Yeah.
thing is you can do like status specific. So like, hey, when a lead changes from new to, closed, that fires off a campaign. So you could also set it up that way.
How would you do that for like a year?
Um,
Like you could set up the campaign to go out a year from when they're changed to closed.
Yep, you would basically just put a delay on it. So, hey, from, when as soon as they change status, wait 12 months and then fire this campaign off. Yep. I'm gonna just for kind of time purposes and everything. I know we just have a few minutes here. I'm gonna who's asking that question right now?
Dawson.
Dawson, I'm going to send you a little document here, but if you go into their training resources and you type in smart campaigns, you'll see a bunch of different examples on them. But yeah, I would build, exactly like what you're creating. You can do it from date, you can do it specific status, or you could just kind of plug and play, hey, 365 days, send this email.
Okay.
Yep. 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 So that is the smart campaign side of things here. Um, Templates. One last thing on the text, on like the text templates. I think this is a really cool feature, and then I want to open it up for Q&A for everyone. So once again, how to get here, guys? You're going to go to marketing, and then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see smart campaigns. You're going to click on the word templates at the top. And now I'm going to add in a new text message template. All right. And then this is the exact same thing. You can write a text message versus an email. Same type of functionality. The mass text feature is really cool. Or, I'm sorry, the text template is cool, but like Dawson, I think you were asking earlier, I would recommend having like a specific stop at the end of your first text message. You'll also notice Boldtrail does have a system limit where you can only send one mass text or campaign to a lead, one per day. So you can only text a lead once per day from a mass texting. Doesn't mean if they text you back, yes, you can still text them all day, every day. But from a mass text standpoint, only one text message a day. So that I think we'll open it up for some Q&A. Allison, I don't know if you can help me kind of go through. I think I've answered most of these questions in chat, but let me know if there's any questions that have come up.
I'm sorry, I was working on some stuff on the side. Did you answer Kathy's question? Would love to look at the CMA builder.
We did not. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
So let's go into that. All right. So you're going to go, Kathy, you're going to go to marketing. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see CMA Builder. This is a way for you to create market reports to send to your clients. All right. And so what you would need to do is you would need to select one of the leads, one of the lead names, and then you're going to have to select like an address. So if I put in my address here, buckwheat, and then I would select this for like Allison, for example. I'm going to hit build CMA. And what it's going to do is it's going to build it around my specific property. It's going to take recently sold homes. It's going to take some comps, and you'll see it'll take, like it says, it's going to take up to 30 seconds to create it. One caveat. I know this question in comments coming. This is a computer generated valuation, right? Nothing's going to replace you as an agent. It's not going to hit 100% on the mark, but it does a pretty good job. They typically pull from 3 sources. All right, and it says CMA has been generated. Now I can click here to download it. Do you see this? If I click on it, it will pull it up, and it just pulled the CMA for me based on my house and my neighborhood. This is actually pretty accurate. There was a house, I don't know, 8 or 9 doors down that sold for 1.5. It was on the market for 7 months, but it had a pool. So this isn't too bad. But obviously, computer generated value. You'll see my old truck in the driveway right there. So just a really cool kind of quick feature, obviously quick build. It's not bulletproof, but I think it's good. A lot of agents, what they'll do is, they'll meet someone and they'll put this together in 30 seconds and send it over to them. So it serves as a quick builder, hey, create this really, really quick type of a CMA builder.
Is there a way with the CMA builder to change the photo at the top, change the logo, like make it a little bit more personalized?
Negative. Negative. It's pre-built. The one thing I would do, actually no, there's not a way to customize it, unfortunately.
There's no way to customize the comps that they took either, or to see what those comps are.
Nope. Nope. This one's automatically generated.
Okay.
It shows a map and it doesn't quite give you a list. It gives sort of a linear thing with prices, but it doesn't give you, like the list of the other like thumbnails or anything like that in there. So it's kind of, it's a good report if you're just gonna email it to someone, but I would supplement it with something from the MLS. That's my advice, having run through it a few times.
So Pascal, when you said you had used it for seller presentations and you said that you didn't like the comps that were in it and you were able to change those.
I believe I did. Remember, Alessandra, that we play with that together?
Yeah, it wasn't in the CMA builder though, so that's a
Okay.
different tool. Yep.
So to do that, I would just go through when we looked
Yep.
early on the present. Yeah.
Yep. The present tool. The CMA builder, this is automatically created. You can't really customize that one.
Okay,
Yep.
good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. What I would encourage you guys all to do, use your own home address, use one of your recent listings, go in and plug and play it. You're going to be like, oh, I love this tool. I hate this tool. I love this feature. Don't like this. Start using it for yourself before you use it for your clients. Just, it sounds like that's what Mary's done. I would encourage you guys to do the same. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to hate it. So, yep. All right, let me just go through questions here. We will have this recording. Yes, I will upload this. The other thing too, I'm filming right now, guys. A lot of these trainings have been a little bit longer. Excuse me. So I've actually filmed. I'm just getting them edited right now, like shorter little videos. So what do I do when I set up a lead on listing alerts? So I'm still building those. Allison, do you want to talk about SharePoint at all?
I do, but before I do that, before we switch gears, just for all of you guys, does anyone have a question? Are there any questions out there? Are there any needs? Like one of the things that I asked with regard to questions is how comfortable do you